Hi everyone, I'm Raph, Dungeon Master of Arcane Amphitheatre. Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode. If you're new here, we're currently in the midst of what is our longest arc to date. So, if you want to get caught up or are a veteran of the show and just need a refresher, come check out episodes 22.5 and 38.5. Or check out our website, www.arcaneamphitheatre.com, where you could see an episode list and descriptions of all of the main cast. If you like our work, be sure to like and follow us on our socials, and come join the Discord where you can interact with the entirety of the Arcane Amphitheatre cast. Links to all of that in the descriptions below. And before we begin today's episode, we have some words from friends of the show.
Oh, your butler.
His butler?
Oh, yeah. He's
Jives the homie.
Jives has been taken
By the Lord.
You know what?
Okay. We need to lock in.
I don't know what to do.
Where do we go
I'm
from here?
trying to keep this boat afloat. Tell me what to do.
Time is a precious fleeting light.
What you just heard was a clip from our latest episode, along with my amazing friend singing our intro for our podcast, Flip of Fate. Now, I'll make this short so you can get back to your regularly scheduled episode. But Flip of Fate is a Dungeons & Dragons podcast that is mostly chaotic improv with D&D elements thrown into it. We're just 5 friends learning D&D as we go and wanted to make a story for our listeners. We used a mixture of audio, sound effects, and improv to really just try and envelop you in our world. Anyways, thank you for your time, and you can find a link to us in the description below or anywhere you listen to podcasts at FLIPLOFFATE.
Thank you so much for supporting us here at Arcane Amphitheatre, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode. When we last left the Redeviants.
4 months. That's how long it's been since I received my first letter from Zai. 4 months of following words on a page from destination to destination. Today, words on a page have finally manifested, and text became flesh. After diving off the cavern floor of the volcano and into what would have been a fiery end to us all, Sheelal and I came face to face with Zai, while Kaixus and Raggax were sent to the Game Master, the old mentor of Kai's, Atreus, which left the final 2 players of this game, Ajax and Iska, at the top of the volcano. Ajax tried his best to fend off the number 2 competitors, but was taken by his family. Alongside Iska, Zai and Atreus tried their best, but by that point there was nothing they could do. It makes you wonder, what would have happened if we hadn't jumped? Arcane Amphitheatre. Episode 76. Family Ties.
Any questions?
Is this about to be Wizard's Bad Day Part 2?
It's something.
This is about to be Wizard's Worser Day.
Worst. Oh, which one was worst day?
I can't wait for the worstest.
The worstest day.
The worstest.
Worcester. The
Worcestershire
Worcestershire sauce day.
Very well. We will start then with Atreus, Kaixus, and Raggax. As you all stand there with a disappointed Atreus, who stands there looking at the Colosseo. The battles are over. The Lagrange is slowly dissipating. You can hear Clyde hovering above, shouting in excitement, the roars of the crowd. But inside the control room, there is silence.
Raggax, upon seeing everything that has transpired, he immediately just stabs himself. He's going to pour in first a 3rd level cure wounds as this trail of just dropping blood follows him, and he looks at Atreus, the game master, and in a shaky voice, "Where is Ajax and Iska?"
There's only one place that I know they would take them. Their island. Their headquarters. That's the only place they would take them.
And where is that?
Off the coast of the Dominion. They own a rather large, actually, island where they've built their tower.
Raggax is just like clenching his teeth, just seething right now. Give me fuck. Wait, Kaixus, we gotta get going. We can't stay with this fucking asshole.
I sock him right in the fucking face. You do not call the most brilliant man I've ever met an asshole. Not in front of me. I turn back to Atreus. I apologize for his outburst.
You see Atreus is still looking into the Coliseum. There's a somber look on his eyes, this defeat. It's all right. It's all right. I'm not proud of my actions either.
I owe him a debt, Atreus. I can't abandon him to them. I wish I could stay here and try to make up for what I did. To try and earn back your respect.
Kaixus, there is nothing that you can do that can make me think you were that young boy that I taught. That young boy also burned in that warehouse. But what you can do is attempt to start anew.
It was never my intention to turn you away from me. I'm sure I was rash, but I'm sorry, Atreus. I don't regret what I did. But you're right. I can make amends another way. You know, maybe the reason it was so easy for me to do it was because they never cared about me, and I never cared about them. But this rabble, and I kind of motion to Raggax and across the way at the Blue Sapphire Suite. At first, I thought they were just a means to an end, a way to get out of Raydell and away from the headsman's axe that was my father. But they have saved my skin so many times it's not even funny. I can't leave them. I can't do it. So, please, I am assuming you have a way to contact me if there's anything I can do for you, anything I can do to help you. I am Please let me know.
After you did what you did, it hurt me. Not because I thought that you were... It hurt me because I thought you were right. I left not because of what you did, but because I agreed with you. There was a small part in my heart that thought that your family was scum. Scum that should have burned millennia ago. A bloodline that should have been eradicated. And I thought you were different. I thought that you were your mother's son, not your father's. And that pain that I felt, that pain that I agreed with you, is why I left. And leaving you was the hardest thing I ever did. I considered you more a son than your father ever did.
I immediately... The visor comes down over Kai's eyes as the tears start to show up, and he just hugs him.
I'm sorry, my boy.
You have nothing to be sorry about. And I just kind of let it linger for a while.
There's a silent, somber, emotional moment between you two as there are tears that flow between you both as we cut back to Aaravani, Sheelal, and Zai. Zai holding the crystal ball in his hands and immediately slumping back into the red leather chair that he sits in, now disassociatively peering off at the Coliseum.
Where did they go? Where are they?
Stop, Aaravani.
Get Drassel, get Y, bring them back.
No.
Why not?
Because we live in a game. We live in a game where we make every move in the shadows. We live in this game where everyone around us is watching our every move. That's why I write to you in letters, Aaravani. Where everywhere we look, we have enemies and someone waiting to pounce on us. On you. And you made so many enemies before I even found you. And I'm not saying that to be rude or to hold that over your head. I am saying that to be truthful, Aaravani. We leap into action on a moment's notice, and we risk everything we fight towards. I risk everything I fight for, and you risk your goals. Do not look at me like a devil, because I am not like my kin. We could have formed a contract many months ago. But I refuse to even bring it up to you. I refuse. I have not led you astray yet, and I do not plan to. So take a moment to breathe.
It's my fault. It's my fault that Ajax is with them. I'm the one who ran first. Because I wanted to see you. I wanted to finally get to where I wanted to be, to find them, to find... I left home. I ran from home. I ran from them. In that moment, all I could think of was the two of them. Not once and I look over at Sheelal. Not a single thought of them was in my head. It was you. It was the two that I'm looking for, and I promised them that I would protect them. And that's what I intend to do. I have continued to say these things that I want to believe. But look where we are now. At the end of it, it's still all me. I did not give a shit about them whenever I first met them. I have to prove what I've always wanted to be. Thank you for all that you've done for me. But I have to do this for them.
And what is it you want to be, Aaravani?
I don't care about being a hero. I just want to make sure that the people that I love are safe.
Aaravani, that is a leader. You want to be a leader.
Does a leader run from his men? That's not what I am.
A leader leads. And unfortunately, and he stops and looks out into Beluseo. A leader, unfortunately, has people also die for them. And he walks slowly up to that paned glass. Ara, do you know what I fight for? I fight to become exactly what you were. I fight for my people. Even though those people left me long ago. And we cut back to Atreus and Kai and Raggax. As the two of you finish your embrace.
I guess I should go.
I have an idea.
Yeah, anything.
How much do you know of Zai?
That he's like this omnipotent bounty dealer, basically. But other than that, not really.
He was not some omnipotent Oni dealer. Once upon a time, he was a leader. Once upon a time, he was akin to a king. Once upon a time, he ruled the Dominion.
Bit of a hefty resume there.
A bit, yes. He was run out of town. The people during the Millennial War, rather the Dominion, lost faith in him, and a coup occurred. And once upon a time, he was the young Archlord. They thought him to be dead. But in reality, it was his retainers that took the blow. For I don't like him. I think he works in the shadows, attempting to gather himself and his people in an attempt to reclaim his throne. Not that I like the Dominion or have any stake in it, but I don't agree with it.
Okay, so what are we getting at here?
I know where he's going to send your friends. I have an acquaintance in Malumar. That same acquaintance I happen to know is an acquaintance of Zai. As we cut back to Zai, Aaravani, I failed my people. And I let my bodyguards take the blow. In the midst of this massive coup, in the midst of a war, I would like to lead them again. But on that path, I have to clear out everyone that stands in my way. And truthfully, and he looks at you and at Sheelal, I need your help.
You see, clearly wipes something out of his eyes as he kind of paces, and it's almost like a thought came into his head as he runs over to Sheelal, gets on his knees. Are you all right? Are you okay?
Yes. I feel better.
Nods as he's gonna bring Sheelal into just a giant, I would say bear hug, but it's more like an eagle hug as he just pulls him in, just holds him there.
Sheelal will hug back.
Just let's go. Brander spoke of something similar to what you experienced. He also mentioned that you and him know each other. And I experienced something similar on my island. I failed the royal family. But I won't fail again. That's why I'm with you. That's why I'm going to help you. That's why I'm going to find Marcia and Harper Thorin.
And that is why I chose you. Because across the entirety of Altaria, we are the only two people that understand.
Where are the others?
With Atreus.
How do we get there?
I can't get in. That man despises me, and I him. He ran away from his home after your friend Kaixus burnt his siblings to the ground. He did not stand and fight, and he mocks me for working in the shadows. Yet he stands there attempting to change the world in his favor, attempting to, or rather waiting for his signs to do something. Yet look where he sits, atop a cold, steely throne, as a puppet, a game master that controls nothing. He claims that these fighters of his, he could free them, and they could help him. But deep down in his heart, he sits down and looks at you both. He's after Kaixus' mother. He wants to dethrone Malevius and find his one true love.
Sorry?
Atreus was in love with Kai's mother.
I didn't realize she was alive. He never really spoke of her.
Neither does he. The belief is that she either disappeared or died, when in reality she made a pact with another devil for safe passage. She prayed for knights to escape. She prayed for knights for Raydell to disappear. And she got her wish. Just not in the way she hoped. I know where she is. And I also know he's going to tell me that I refuse to pass along that information. He's correct. She is safe.
Where is she?
You're going to have to trust me on this one. And he looks at both of you. I know where they're taking Ajax. To the Lagrange stronghold. Their tower, their island, their home. No one gets in or out of there. But I have a friend in Malumar. And we cut back to Kaixus, Raggax, and Atreus. And Atreus looks at Raggax. I forgive you, little one. I forgive you. By the way, you can approach us and listen. Zai wants his throne back, and I just disagree with him.
Who would you rather have? Because I'm assuming it's not my father.
No. I would like your father killed.
You and me both.
You've got a long line.
I would like to see you, Kaixus, lead Raidel.
Never had aspirations that high. Why me? Why not yourself?
Look at me. I'm a tiefling that ran away from your father. I might be the greatest mind you've ever met, but I have no ties to him.
I'm also a tiefling that ran away from my father for much more heinous reasons than yours.
I would not be so sure. Kaixus, I must confess something. I loved your mother.
He just smiles and kind of laughs. Barely knew her, and you and me both.
No, I loved your mother. She wished for Raidel's downfall and to escape. Whether she disappeared or was killed is always up in the air, and a rumor. She made a pact. She made a pact with a devil known as Zai, and he got her out of there in exchange for safety. That is why I don't care for him.
I immediately turn back to the window. Can you get me over there?
He's going to send everyone over there to Malumar. I'm going to send you all to Malumar because I've got an idea. And both Zai and Atreus look at the two of you both. We're going to send you to Malumar. Both of you. I'm sure Atreus or Zai are going to send your friends there too. Discuss with them any information you want. I don't care. But there you will head to the High Church. At the High Church of Malumar, you are going to find a zealot. You're going to speak Zai's name to him as Zai turns to the two of you. You are going to speak Atreus' name to him. They'll know I sent you. And he is very, very familiar with the Lagrange family. Go get Ajax. Go get Iska. And then we'll talk.
Do we have a name, or do we have anything to go off of than Zealot?
No. Unfortunately, Zai keeps his contacts and their names short and brief. I've only ever spoken with him in letters. As Zai turns to Era and Sheelal, I don't have a name, unfortunately. I've only ever spoken to him in letters. But I know he's friends with Atreus, so Atreus makes sure to keep his names short and sweet and hidden.
You said that you're doing this for people that left. Why did they leave?
It was, 500 years ago now, if not more. War changes people, and as I was stepping into power, my people, and I And he stops for a moment, looking at you. When I mention my people, I really mean the citizens of the Dominion. They were unhappy with the war. Truthfully, we were fighting Arcadia for so long that we forgot what we were fighting about. It was 1,000+ years of political strife and betrayals, assassinations on both ends, cultists of various different gods and members, societies hidden beneath the walls and floors, all of them vying to see who could take control. Unfortunately, people leave, and they forget that sometimes their leaders do care about them. I am the rightful Archlord of the Dominion, and it is my duty to lead them, to protect them, to cherish them, to enlighten them. That is why I do it. He looks at you in the eyes. Call it kingly responsibilities, or in my end, the Archlord.
He just kind of laughs to himself for a little bit. You know, I thought I left a king back home. I thought that I was finally done. And here, this whole time after I left, I've been serving another.
I am no king. Nor have I ever expected or asked loyalty from you. Only ever a partnership. And he extends a hand. And I extend this partnership to all the Redeviants as he kneels down and extends a finger towards the smaller Sheelal.
If I do this, you'll help me find them. You'll help all of us.
If you do this, I will help every single one of you. I'm already doing my part.
Is there anything you can do for me right now? I know you said we never formed a contract. I'm not saying for us to form one now. The only way that I'm going to be able to do this, if we're really going against the Lagranges to try and get Ajax back, I need something. Can you do that?
I refuse to sign any contract with you or any of the Redeviants today. Perhaps in the future. Maybe. But... And he stands up, looking at you both. There is plenty I can do and help in Malumar. You will not go in there alone. I will be helping exactly the way I have been, if not more. I haven't signed a contract in years, Era. And the last time I signed one, things went poorly for everyone, myself included.
Who was it?
He takes a breath for a moment. Nerissa.
You gonna give me anything else besides a name, or is that for me to figure out?
Nerissa in Terravant. I promise you, she's still safe.
You know it's not gonna be that easy with Kai.
It's not, but he's also standing eye to eye with a tutor that left him many years ago. He reminds me of you. Another leader, per se, refusing to acknowledge his calling. Unlike you, however, he is not duty-bound to it. He just exudes it. And you both, as leaders, take matters into your own hands. That's why people follow you.
Brander mentioned a war with who I assume is going to be Malevius. You want him dead, right?
That war is not Malevius's war. Although I know he has dealings with the Dominion. Do I want him dead? Absolutely. The devilish nature in me wants his soul. This corrupted, malevolent entity that is Malevius. But the war that is coming is mine.
With who?
With the Dominion. There will be a day that I show my face and reveal myself. That is my war. That is Brander's war.
Why do you need us?
I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know. Perhaps I've just read too much. Perhaps I look at history books and fictional stories and legends and I peer off and see the knights that fought alongside their kings. Perhaps I look at you all and I see people that I can trust, knowing full well that you will not trust me. I need you, truthfully, because you are a group and team of action. And I need you all because I know that whatever path and journey you're on runs parallel to mine. Perhaps you could say that I need to use you, yes. Which is why I stop at every moment to try to assure you that I am not trying to just use the Redeviants. It's why I offer money, contracts, help, aid. I'm the one that saved Ajax in that moment, and it cost me a fortune. I'm the one that dropped that bucket of money to give Sheelal a little bit of power to bring everyone back. I'm the one that summoned the creatures that decimated the Krakens and the warlocks chasing you all. You have sponsors all over, yes. You had people cheering for you, yes. But that was my way of taking action.
Thank you for that. And I will do this. As I begin to hold out a hand, and I assume right before he tries to reach out to mine, I kind of bring it back. But I need to make sure that I keep a promise to them. My loyalty is with them. No longer can this just be a goal that I seek for myself. I wish more than anything to see those two again. But I realize my actions today consistently have been for myself. But I want to help them. I said I would. It took a while for me to even consider making that a reality, to convince myself that that was true. I want to mean it.
I would agree to that with no one else. I think those were the words you were looking for, Era. Because I've always been in agreement. Then he looks at Sheelal. And what do you think?
I'm not really sure. Who are you fighting against, mainly?
I'm fighting for my people. I'm fighting against the entirety of the Dominion, Sheelal.
You're gonna need a lot of people. I can help. Do you know if Brander will be fighting with you?
Brander and I were childhood friends. Brander and I were practically brothers. Brander was the first to stand against the coup. And in the midst of it, he was beaten and banished. He and his army built Smolder Rock.
I'm sorry about Smolder Rock. And he shakes his hand.
I forgive you, Sheelal, for Smolder Rock. And I too am sorry for Smolder Rock. I did not know Raydell was going to rain hell upon you. Well, I tried to warn you, but they were faster than I thought. But thank you for reaching out to Brander. And he looks back at Era as Sheelal, you shake Zai's fingers. Or finger, I should say. And Era? He extends his hand.
Yeah. Just again, a slight hesitation. And I think that in that moment, it's almost like he didn't even control this. Maybe it was a vision, it wasn't actually what manifests, but Jin's shadow appears behind Zai, just staring back at him as Zai stands between him, and he shakes.
All right. I have many allies in the city. They'll help you. As he begins to close his eyes, and we cut back to Atreus and Raggax.
Atreus, I've lost too many people who care about me. And Raggax grits his teeth. And I'm sorry. You're not an asshole. But I can't lose anymore. And someone told me that I need to try to be better. So this is me trying to be better, and I'm sorry.
You know, I'm not one to judge. I think, Raggax, anyone with eyes and empathy can hear the conflict in your voice, this struggle. There is an admiration anyone like me make when looking at you. I see it in the way you cast and summon your spells. To anyone, it's obvious that you worship Leviatar. Yet it is unbefitting of her clerics to languish at the thought of pain. Pain, Raggax. Pain truly is an acknowledgement of feeling and of love. Pain, both physical and emotional, lets us know that we're mortal. I will never worship her, but there is an acknowledgement about her that is worth remembering. Every time you stab yourself, every time you pry your skin off, every time you inflict that pain to others is a reminder that you are mortal and so are they. You are not a mindless beast. You are a creature that feels like everything else in this world. Everything else. I'm not going to make an assumption as to what your dealings and current placement are with Leviatar, but channel that pain. And if you don't want to lose anyone else, make those steps to do it. Protect them. And he looks back into the battlefield that is slowly dissipating, the crowds disappearing, but the red cracks beneath slowly going through. As you can see, you can see a bunch of mages going in to investigate what is going on. The Coliseum will be no more. One more moment, and everything would have exploded. Should Ajax have fought for a second more? Should you guys have fought for a moment more? I can feel it, the silence of the spirits that once lived here. Gone. And now, it's just us. So, Raggax, I think you have to go save Ajax. And Iska.
At the mention of the Coliseum, Raggax briefly, he takes a breath in. What happened to Drassel and Iska? Do you know?
They were teleported back to their rooms. And truthfully, and he stops, looks around, sees the runes sort of dimly glowing, and he looks at Kaixus. Can you help?
Not only will I help, but I will honor your wishes. If you believe I am Raydel's greatest hope, then I have no argument against it. I will find my mother, I will bring her back to us, and I will honor your desires, and I will do it all for you. And I kind of just like clasp him. I'll right everything. I'll make everything right again.
Kaixus, I don't want you to do it for me. I want you to do it for yourself. And he looks at the room around him, and truthfully, I really meant if you could help me fix and power this up a little bit more.
Yeah,
So
no,
I
I can do that. That's for sure.
You took that really literally.
No, I mean, yeah, but
Or not literally, metaphorically.
okay.
I
No,
apologize.
sorry.
I used the
Sorry, I
wrong
haven't-
saying there.
I haven't worked with Atreus in a hot second, so yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I'll get right on it. I just like start powering. So I just start finagling with something.
Give me an Arcana check as I assume Raggax is going to attempt to help in some sort of fashion.
I will assist in any way I can. Raggax actually, he'll try to offer any of his magic that he can to assist with this. He drips his blood, I guess, on this rune is what we're interacting with. Is that correct?
I need to see the color of that change, so if you could not obscure it with your blood, that'd be great.
Sorry. Let me wipe that off here.
If you want, don't smear it. Don't smear it. Don't smear it. It's smearing. It's smearing.
I can't.
All right,
I can't control the consistency.
It's an 18 Arcana.
18, you could see that Atreus has gone to another portion of the room and attempted to repower things up, and he looks back and he just goes, unsanitary and disgusting.
The last things a laboratory should be. Exactly. Right?
With an 18, it begins to whir back to life, and you can see Atreus open the book once more as runes pop up out of the book, and he begins to pull things around. And up through the glass, he sort of channels in the arcane essence, trying to peer in, scrying to the rest of the Coliseum. And what you see is Drassel in his locker room, beaten and bruised, not from anything extra, just from the fight. But there is this confused, somber look as he looks around. Where are they? Where did the Redeviants go? And he gets up and he puts his hand on his neck. Ishka, where did you take them? Where did your family take them?
He's so confused, poor guy.
Jinmasu, I am going to save you.
Let's
and he
go.
begins storming out of the room.
Is there any way I can open? Can we open up? Can I? Can I open up like a communication line to Dressel? Yeah, he's gonna get himself probably killed.
Yeah.
We probably will, but every resident competitor is engraved with a rune in the center of their spine. Until they're bought, they are property of the Colosseum. The moment he leaves, that rune implodes, shattering his spine.
Well, hang on.
Ensuring to send a shockwave directly up to his brain.
Isn't the Colosseum like done for though, or what's? How does that work?
I should specify the festival will have no more traps and games. It'll be just a one-on-one fight, and we will claim it to be a back-to-basics moment after the fortitude of the fighters. But roll me a persuasion check, both of you.
I was about to say,
please don't let Dressel just explode.
Yeah, please
go fight Jinmasu.
He can't go out that way. He cannot go out that way.
It is. I did roll a 23.
23. Raggax.
So exhaustion works. It's like -2. Right?
Minus 2.
2.
Okay. So it was like a 16.
Okay. So he looks at you, and then he flips over to where Iska's locker was, and you could see blood splattered across the floor, essences and small, almost like craters, sectioned off in the grounds. You could see portions of the robes she was wearing spattered all around the room, and she is nowhere to be found.
All right. Okay.
There's no number one to fight. Which means Dressel can be bought. And I know just the person that can buy him out.
Am I supposed to know who it is, or
I look at
I'm actually not sure?
Kaixus.
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
No. So, I will send you all to Malamar then.
I give him one more quick hug, and I'll be like, I'll see you again. I promise.
This is not the last time our paths will meet. But I am proud of you, my boy. I'm proud of you for finally taking that initiative.
I don't know if I quite feel proud of myself just yet, but maybe that'll change after I get Ajax and Iska back.
And he begins to open the book and open a portal to Malamar. As Zai begins to do the same thing for Sheelal
they're just
and
gonna do
Aaravani.
Oh, fast travel. Okay, that's
Nice.
fine.
I also look around and I try to find Atreus. Do you have any like thinner that you use to remove these runes off
He
the
just
wall?
had paint thinner lying around.
I know it's crude, but this isn't exactly the look I'm going for.
I would not be proud of that look either. And he points to the table and there's a like 1 gallon bucket of paint thinner. Just buy some normal paint and repaint yourself.
Sounds good. I like grab the paint thinner. It's like super heavy, and I like waddle through the portal.
Yeah, do you want some help with that? I mean, I'm right here.
I don't literally. How your arm is like your shoulder's like at my hip.
Got it.
How are
Watch
you gonna?
this.
Raggax just uses his whole body to like
He's gonna spill that shit all over himself.
All right, give me that back. Give me that
backpack it,
back.
I guess.
Give me that shit. Give me that back.
Yeah.
Goodbye. I give Atreus one final wave and then out the room into the port.
You're out the room as you both step through the portal. Aaravani, Sheelal, Zai has opened up the portal for you all.
I look at it. I look back. Before we go, these letters. Is there any way of contacting the other two? I assume you can't do it with Ajax. Even Drassel
Not with
or Y.
Ajax.
Letting them know where we are.
Y is out of my sight. Which means she's probably with Ajax. Drassel, however, if there's no one left for him to fight for or to fight against, maybe he'll accept being purchased by me.
He'll be free after that, right?
Technically, he would be owned by me. But that's practically being free.
I look down at Sheelal. What do you say?
Can you see my friend Mick? He's a tabaxi.
He closes his eyes, channeling himself through. With a little bit more thought and patience, I'd be able to discern his reasonings, but he is also on his way to Malamar.
Oh, I can't wait to see him. He's gonna look up at Aaravani and take a step towards the portal.
Give him a pat to Sheelal as I begin to walk, and I, behind my back, just again, thank you for everything, Sai. I'm sure we'll keep in touch, right?
The letters will never stop coming. The bounties will be there if you want them. But rest assured, Aaravani, every letter I give you, and every victim, I try to ensure some sort of right punishment. It's the easiest way for me to make money, and people always need someone dead.
Just gives a nod and heads out with Sheelal.
You walk over as Zai takes a step back, straightening himself. And Aaravani, thank you. Thank you for everything, too.
Nods to himself and keeps going.
As you step through, all four of you now on your way to Malamar. There leaves only one person. Ajax, you don't know how long it has been. You don't know where you are, but eventually you come to consciousness. You look around you and there's this almost familiar nature to it, and you stand up, you look around these cobblestone walls, these iron bars, and you can feel it, this arcane pull sapping you of your energy. You rush around, you grab at everything, you realize your book is gone. You have no spells, you have no capabilities of casting magic, as this entire cell was crafted and modified by you. You look around, your first project as a Lagrange, your first real project. A simple anti-magic prison. And you sit there alone in a cell.
I'm home.
You are home. You hear footsteps walking down the hallway. And you look up, eventually the light adjusting as you see the silhouette of an imposing figure. And you hear a chair get pulled in, and you stop for a moment. Your eyes slowly beginning to adjust as best as they can. And you see it. The face of your sister, Alva, sitting on a chair, her legs crossed. And she just looks at you.
You're here.
I am. Yes.
I'm sure you have plenty of questions.
I do. So why don't you start from the beginning?
Well, as you know, I'm just like him. I'm me. My name is Ajax Lagrange. A chronologist. I've dedicated my life to the idea of exploring other realms. My research has brought me here. I wanted to, at least, the whole reason why I'm here was just to see if I could actually do it. And, after experiment and sacrifice, I traveled to your world in order to meet you.
You understand? I'm not your sister, right?
You look just like her.
And you look just like my brother.
Listen, I know that things did not go as planned with Beluseo, but I'm not an enemy of yours.
Are you not now? Then tell me, Ajax, what are you?
I'm an inquisitive mind. I'm a scholar, looking for answers, seeking knowledge. I am also a prisoner of my own fate. I don't know what your life is like, but mother and father have never been kind. So I'm here seeking exile.
I'm afraid that, then, you are in the wrong place, Ajax. Mother and father here are not kind either. They're ruthless. They stop at nothing to get what they need done. Present, yes, but they do not care about us. Perhaps we do share that similarity between worlds. Though it sounds like yours has a much firmer grasp of chronomancy without any acknowledgement of graviturgy. And she gets up. I don't know what your Alva was like, but let me assure you one thing. I'm the kindest Lagrange here. And you, Ajax, you are ruthless. You are also deceiving and manipulative. You also stop at nothing to get anything done. Let me impart some knowledge on you. The Ajax here attempted to toss me into an experiment, and it would have killed me. But I am better. I am stronger, and my kindness allowed him to go unpunished. So understand, I do not trust you. And unfortunately, your actions have forced me to not trust you. I will let you here. I will check on you. But at the end of everything, you are your own prisoner. Though I have my own assumptions, a hypothesis, if you will, as to what will happen when you and yourself finally meet. When gravity and chronergy combine. Let us pray to whatever god you are going to decide on. Pick that god. Pray on that god. Because you will not be having a very comfortable stay here. And pray you do not suffer. Because Ajax will not let you live for very long.
What's the point?
Tell me, what would you do if your alternate version dropped into your world, messed with your experiments? What would you do?
If you had asked me that question not but a few weeks ago, I probably would have given you an accurate answer. But now, with this freedom that I have, I feel like I'm changed. I am tired of death. It keeps following me. It keeps taking. Like a thief in the night. And I don't see the point in snuffing out a candle while it's hardly had a chance to be lit. If he wants to kill me, just get it over with. I'm not that much of an intrusion. There's much to learn, but I'm sure that he'll have his way when all is said and done.
Ajax, you are not a murderer. Well, not innately. If you are, or I guess were, like my brother, you would not kill yourself or your alternate self. You would experiment on him. And experimentation, unfortunately, involves many unpleasantries. It involves pain, it involves torture, and there is a likelihood of death. But no, he will not kill you. You will be your own experiment.
He's going to get every ounce that he can.
You will, yes. And she stands up. I truly am sorry.
Me too. I'm sorry for him. Whatever he's done to you.
She looks at you. I'm sorry too. Based off my readings, based off my knowledge. Ourselves run in parallel. Options and outcomes different. But the journey ever so similar. I'm sorry whatever you did to me too. And I hope that this changed person inside you is able to live with it. And she walks away.
Is it still there? The letter?
Yes.
And the ring?
The ring is gone. Your spellbook is gone.
Then I will take my only possession that I have in this prison of my own making and open it.
I would like for you to give me an investigation check first. Or a perception roll, I should say. You're perceiving this.
Perception 18 minus 4 plus 5 is a 19.
It is crumpled, it is worn. There has been plenty of damage to it, but as you grab it, you realize something. It had already been opened. Last time you checked, you left it closed.
My hand begins to clench, gripping tightly this simple piece of parchment. Is it still there?
It's still there. With a 19, you will also notice that it was opened, it was read, but it was delicately, purposefully, and most importantly, carefully placed back into the envelope and into your possession.
I'll read it.
Alva, would you like to read the letter?
Dear Ajax, I hope this letter will bring you some peace. If you already followed my instructions provided by Cornelius, you should be reading this at your lowest. I don't know what has gotten you to this point, and I wish more than anything I could be there to cheer you up. But please, keep your chin up and do what you've always done. Persist. That is to say, if you actually are disheartened, because here I am about to pour my heart out into this letter when I know my baby brother like the back of my own hand. I could easily see you ripping this open the moment you arrived at your destination, or you're hardly even a day into your travels and already starving to death. But one thing I know for certain is that the experiment did succeed. Although I couldn't possibly know what awaits you upon your arrival, my hope for this letter is that you've already been seasoned in your travels and found people who can help you. It's like I said before. You need to learn how to ask for help, Ajax. You have people that love you and want nothing but your success here at home. But ever since that first experiment through time, I noticed how cold you've become. You shut yourself out, leaving no room for others to open those doors. I can't help but feel responsible for that. I played through that moment over and over again in my head, pondering what I could have done differently. What if I allowed you to continue on, instead of bringing you back to the lab? I sat in my room staring at the walls for hours. Those hours turned into days, and even then, I never came to your aid. To try and fix the rift that had formed between us ever since. And I am so sorry. I remember the long hours playing in the study, sharing a book as I read it out loud to you. I remember the first spell you ever learned. It was the day I tore my favorite dress, and you came to my aid by mending it. We'd wake up early in the morning to steal some freshly made chicken bacon from the kitchen and take the eggs laid by the pigs in the barn and chuck them at Bab. And so many more. Listening to your confession on the day of the first experiment, wanting release and escape from this place. It hurt me. But I also couldn't deny that I shared that same desire. I had done all that I wanted. I learned the spells that Father and Mother required of me. I read all of the books that intrigued me. The remainder of my time and my purpose was to train the rest of you. It wasn't until I saw that drive in you, the work that you always put into every experiment, every waking hour you had in order to succeed, that I found a new purpose. I made a promise to myself that I would make sure that those dreams of yours came to fruition. And as we both traveled through time that day, my purpose became all too clear. As I'm sure you are already aware by now, in order to travel through time, you need some kind of exchange. We found out that the coin that Cornelius gave to you was infused with a soul, which paid the cost of my travel, but not yours. So when we tried again on the child, that child, if it wasn't for the promise I made to you that day, I never would have agreed to it. I had already failed you once. I couldn't do so again. So I agreed, and like before, the coin paid for her travel. But this time, in her place, was the monstrosity we brought into our own time. It made me realize more than ever how dangerous these experiments could be. But also that what you were doing had worked. A being from not just the past or the potential future of our timeline, but a being of a completely parallel one had swapped places with her. If that happened to just a child, regardless of her chronology origins, what would be transported if a practiced wizard of chronomancy had gone as far as her? What other monstrosity could have been left in your place? I needed to make sure that when you traveled, that there would be no further exchange besides the one needed to reach whatever destination awaited you. So I began to plan with Cornelius. We needed a way to provide you with enough power to get a soul that would counteract the possibility of another monstrosity entering our own timeline.
Oh.
So I had him take the ring I gave you. The one before the first experiment ever began. I told you it was for good luck. A way to remember us all by. But to tell you the truth, Ajax, that ring of mind shielding serves more than that purpose, besides easing your thoughts. If a person wearing that ring should perish, their soul would remain inside of it. I spent every bit of gold I had to get the enchantment on that. It was our last resort. In case the worst should happen. I believed it would work. But I had to be certain that if you should perish, we'd still have a piece of you to bring back. And I would have searched all of Alteria just to find the best cleric possible for it. Maybe that's why I felt as guilty as I did. I didn't put my full trust in you. But with this next experiment, I knew that there could be no corners cut. No ordinary soul would have worked for this. It had to be recent. It had to push against the very forces of time to prevent another figure from entering our own. So I'd join you. Cornelius sent me away in preparation for the day. Even as I'm writing this letter, he's begged that he be in my place, but I know this has to be me. We traveled through time once before together. I wanted the end to be us doing that again. I'm just sad that we won't be able to fully experience it together. It's like I said. I made a promise. You will succeed. And I'd make sure of it. Until the very end. But here you are, wherever you are. Surrounded by people that, I hope, have already helped you. And will continue to help you. You've spent your whole life, Ajax, building a legacy. Just one chance to prove yourself. To show that you live up to the Lagrange name. I can say that you have more than proved it. Everyone back home believes it. Emilio, Bab, Hallian, Cornelius. Now you can add these new people to that list. Because to me, legacy isn't simply achieved by the accomplishments that you've done in life. You could do hundreds of deeds that you believe had made a difference. But it is up to those around you to continue on when you're gone. To keep that person alive in memory. So build that legacy, Ajax. You've spent your whole life securing your name for the future. But when you do that, you lose sight of the thing that you have in the present. And then you'll realize you never even got to live. Continue to travel with these new friends of yours and help them however you can, and I have no doubt that they will help you in return. So whatever has gotten you all down, lean on one another to continue onward. You have those at home cheering you on. I wish more than anything to give you a hug in your time of need. But hopefully these words will allow you to push forward, to persist, to live. I love you so much. Now go make us proud. Your loving sister, Alva.
Ajax, you read those words, watching your sister walk away, surrounded in the cold, steely prison that you created, in search for those companions to lean on. But today you are alone. All alone. And that is where we are going to end this episode.